What is up, my internet friends and family? I'm Charmx, and today I'm going to be reacting to 10 laws you break every day by all-time 10s. Now, I'm assuming jaywalking is one of them, which, if you don't know what jaywalking is, it's basically when you cross the street when you're not at a light. I think that's what it is. Or when you're at, like, a crosswalk. I think. I'm not really sure. See, I don't even know what it is, but I know it's something to do with crossing the street when you shouldn't be doing it. And I'm pretty sure most people do that every day. But anyway, with that being said, the original link's in the description, and let's begin!
10 laws you break every day. 10. Feeding the homeless.
What?
In 2014, 90-year-old World War II veteran Arnold Abbott and 2 church ministers were arrested for feeding the homeless in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Despite the fact that Abbott had been feeding the homeless every day for the past 23 years, the newly passed law meant that he and the ministers faced up to 60 days in jail and a $500 fine every time they violated it. After the controversy surrounding Abbott's arrest, the law was temporarily halted and Abbott's charges dropped.
Okay, that's good.
However, it is still illegal in more than 33 US cities to feed the homeless.
That's horrible.
9. Movie streaming. By 2014, the movie streaming app Popcorn Time had been downloaded onto an estimated 1.4 million devices worldwide, despite the website itself warning users that the site is illegal to use. Governments in the UK, Israel, and Denmark have put in place actions to block access to the website due to them breaking copyright law. In 2015, 2 men in Denmark faced up to 6 years in prison just for operating website guides on how to use the app, despite not linking to the website itself. And in the US, the movie makers behind the Adam Sandler comedy The Cobbler filed a lawsuit against 11 people who they accused of illegally streaming the film. 8. Owning a permanent marker.
What?
In 2010, a teacher made a citizen's arrest after she caught her 13-year-old student writing on a piece of paper with a permanent marker. After the pen was confiscated by police, the student was transported to a juvenile holding facility as punishment. The teacher justified the arrest by citing an Oklahoma City law designed to prevent graffiti, which banned minors from possessing permanent markers on private property. Similar regulations exist in cities across the United States, which has made it a crime for under 18s to even buy the pens. 7. Farting. In 2008, Jose Cruz faced battery charges after he was accused of farting and fanning the odorous gas towards a police officer in the US state of West Virginia. In police custody for drink driving, Cruz claimed that the fart wasn't a malicious act but the result of an upset stomach, and the police had denied his bathroom request, resulting in the incident. In the same year, a 12-year-old student was arrested in Florida when he was accused of deliberately breaking wind to disrupt his class. 6.
He was arrested for that?
Holiday. In 2013, strict new rules were put into place across Britain in order to crack down on parents taking their children on holiday during term time. Under this unauthorized absence law, parents can be fined a minimum of $87 per child, while those that refuse to pay face a $3,600 fine or a 3-month jail sentence. One couple that took their child on holiday to Australia were given criminal records on their return after failing to pay the fine. This was despite the mother arguing in court that she'd taken her children on holiday to give them some respite after losing their terminally ill grandma. 5. Connecting to unsecured Wi-Fi. In 2007, Sam Peterson from Michigan was arrested for parking outside a cafe every day in order to check his emails from his car using the cafe's open Wi-Fi.
Why didn't you just go into the restaurant then?
The Wi-Fi was reserved for paying customers only, and under Michigan's unauthorized use of computer access law, Peterson's actions meant he faced a 5-year sentence and a $10,000 fine.
5 years!
However, due to Peterson's ignorance to the law he was breaking, the judge reduced his fine to $400 and ordered Peterson to complete 40 hours of community service. 4. Cursing on a bus. In 2010, Terry Duncan made local news when he received a $500 fine for cursing on a bus in the US city of Milwaukee. Duncan uttered 2 offensive words while talking, which started with the letters F and S. He was swearing during a private conversation, unfamiliar with the local law that takes a zero-tolerance approach towards disorderly conduct on buses. However, he was overheard by an undercover deputy sheriff who escorted him off the bus before serving him the fine. 3. Writing disturbing material. In 2007, 18-year-old Chicago high school student Alan Lee was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct after he wrote an essay in his creative writing class that his teacher found disturbing. The students were advised to write whatever came into their mind and not to censor their writing. But after reading
the
Lee's
kid's
work,
like a psychopath
his alarmed
or something?
teacher reported the essay to the police as it was filled with violent language. Despite
Violent
being
language.
an A-grade student, Lee was arrested and faced up to 30 days in prison and a $1,500 fine, although prosecutors later dropped the charges.
That is
2.
messed up.
Betting with friends. In 2005, Dr. Sal Colosi was overheard by David Balcom, an undercover detective, betting $50 against his friends on a college football game. The detective befriended Colosi and, over a few months, encouraged him to bet $2,000 in a single day on a football game. This $2,000 threshold meant that Colosi was breaking Virginia law, and it was enough for police to charge Colosi with running a gambling operation.
Wow.
Balcom sent in a SWAT team to serve Colosi a search warrant, but the operation went wrong, and police fatally shot the doctor in the chest. 1. Sodomy. In 2003, anti-sodomy laws were ruled to be unconstitutional by the US Supreme Court, meaning it was no longer illegal for consenting adults to engage in oral or anal sex. However, despite this ruling, 13 US states still have anti-sodomy laws. While these laws cannot be legally enforced due to the Supreme Court ruling, they are still used to prosecute people. In 2005, William S. McDonnell was prosecuted under Virginia's anti-sodomy laws for engaging in consensual oral sex with 2 teenage girls. Despite the girls being over the state's legal age of consent, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison and forced to register as a sex offender.
Alright guys, hope you liked this video. This was very interesting and also kind of messed up, especially the part where the guy farted in class and then got arrested. Like, do you realize how crazy that is? I mean, it's just a natural body function, and it's not like he did it in front of someone's face where it could have been taken as harassment or assault. He was just minding his own business and did it. I mean, do you realize how crazy that is? Anyway, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share it with a friend. If you're interested in any more reactions, check out the Critical Bastard where I do some there, and I'll see you guys next time. Woo!